Welcome to another episode of Inside Evo, and today we have Harry Metcalf. I'm not sure if Harry needs any introduction at all, to be honest. Harry co-founded this magazine. He's the editorial director. And Harry, You're also a big fan of motor shows. Now, we've just had a big conversation about a motor show that's happening next week.
Yes.
Frankfurt 2013. Evo will be there, so stay tuned to Evo TV on YouTube, because we're going to be delivering a number of videos from the show next week. We've just had a meeting about the show, and Harry, it sounds like it's going to be a really good show. Tell us why Frankfurt is important.
It's just a monster show because it's the German show, happens every 2 years, and they just show off. You've never been to a motor show like it. Well, you have been to Frankfurt, so you know what it's like. It's just a monster, isn't it, of a show. I mean, we have Geneva, which sort of kicks off the year for me, the sort of special surprises, and it was terrific this year with Ferrari being launched, those sort of cars. Germany, the Frankfurt show, just going to deliver a different sort of car, but some pretty significant cars are going to be there. Yeah,
Geneva's kind of the boutique show, isn't it? You know, we get some of the really interesting concept cars. We have the supercars and the performance cars, but Frankfurt. Yeah, it does. You said willy waving earlier on.
I did. Well, it is because they have their own halls, don't they?
Yeah.
And then the other thing about the show, it's so big that you actually get in a car to go and visit another hall, don't you? So then they're all showing off their hybrids because they're silent as they drift off to BMW. You need a ordnance survey map or something to get to, don't you? It's like the end. It's the end of the district line on the tube when you finally get. Oh, I'm at BMW.
That's right.
Yeah. It's a huge place.
Yeah. So what can we expect this year? You know, we've had some information. We've been drip fed a few interesting stories. But on the car side, the new car side, what are you looking forward to the most?
Well, there's VW Evenings kicks off it, which is just before it opens, and we're going to see the Audi Quattro there, and that was it. I remember seeing that first concept, and it was just a refreshing change to see this front engine sort of special car. They're going to do it in limited production. It does look as though it's going to go into production, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that one.
It's a very Evo car, isn't it? Kind of car champion, limited numbers, big performance, great styling.
Yeah, it's not uber numbers, but it's a proper performance car you can see yourself owning in a few years' time. Yeah,
okay. So we're going to see that from Audi. What can we expect from BMW?
Well, BMW, finally, the squirrely sort of blue paint's going to come off the i8. We're actually going to see the real thing.
We'll finally see the actual production.
We probably won't like it now.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I wish they'd put it back on. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing that first production car.
And you've driven it?
I have. And I'm just intrigued by that car. I keep saying it because, it's a 3-cylinder engine in the back. You drive it, you have no sense of that. It has instant throttle response. It does this ridiculous 113 miles to the gallon, which, we don't think is probably real, but 21, it's just a refreshing sea change for where we're going to go with performance cars.
And you came back from driving that and you said, you know what, this is a 911 rival, and I think we were kind of a bit sceptical about that. But
I don't know. It isn't. It on its price point, and it sort of says it's a 911 rival, but no, it's reinventing the coupe. It just has that softer edge. You're never going to turn up at a track day in an i8. That's not what you're going to do with it. But you're going to feel, I don't know, it's just going to be a cool car. And I said it's for the iPad generation. They're just going to really like the tech on this car.
Fascinating. Okay. Yeah. So we'll also get the chance. We mentioned Porsche just now. Finally, again, 918. Yeah. We're going to see the production car.
Yeah.
Having driven it. You've driven it, or
no? I missed out on that. Yeah, we were dashing around Italy in a Countach. So I know it was 918 or one of those. We're going to see that. Where I'm interested, where they're going to take that tech. Are we going to actually see a hybrid 911 with some of that tech? I'm also going to be asking, what I love about Frankfurt or all motor shows is the chance to catch up with the CEOs. It's the one place where they're all together and you can ask them thorny questions and see if they're going to give you an answer. And I'm going to see if people are actually going to continue with four-wheel drive mechanical systems, or they're actually thinking they're going to put electric motors on the front wheels, and that's how we're going to see four-wheel drive in the future. And 918, that's what it does. And I want to see if that tech is going to trickle down. So that's the sort of questions I'm going to be asking. I'm going to see Felicia at Ferrari, and really looking forward to that interview, because it's always great to catch up what Ferrari are up to, because they do some fantastic tech, as we know. Going to talk to him about La Ferrari. I thought we were going to be in it in 2013. I've just caught rumours they're actually going to be in 2014 from potential customers. It just got delayed slightly, so I'll be asking him about that.
Okay.
I'm also intrigued whether they're actually going to have to go. We've seen Maserati go into turbochargers. Are we going to see Ferrari adopt turbochargers for the future? And just see if they can carry on with this power race. You know, we're saying about the F12 being, I mean, it's 730 horsepower they've got out of that, you know, how far can they go? Are they going to continue on the power race, or are they going to lighten stuff?
Yeah, well, this is really big news, isn't it? And this is why motor shows are so great, is that, you know, they often represent a kind of a sea change, don't they, in philosophy? And we're going to see the Speciale 458 at Frankfurt, which could be a last hurrah for the V8 naturally aspirated.
It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? Again, you know, with turbocharging just everywhere you look now in the motor industry, 2015, the emissions get really tough, and that's the one. They've all worked out how they get to 2015, it's how they get beyond 2015. And the next generation of Ferrari cars will all have to comply with that. Is it the last, you know, normally aspirated? But what an engine to go out with, that and the F12, you know, they're absolutely at the top of their game. So,
they are, great moment. And interestingly, that brings us on to M3 or M4, as we are now instructed to call the next generation M3, which is also, we expect, will have a turbocharged engine.
Well, again, that's just right across the board. That's what's happening out there. But again, with the i8 and some of those other cars, they're using this electric motor to infill any of this sort of turbo. They've got variable technology on the turbos, they can get around it with that, like that, and then they can use the electric motor to fill in the torque as well. So maybe they won't feel quite as we expect. We won't know for a few, you know, another year or so. It's just the fun of the motor show. It's always speculation, so you just poke and prod and try and get something, them to drop a secret that they shouldn't drop. So that's the name of the
Part
game.
of the game, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. So we talked about some of the German manufacturers at the show. Some of the British manufacturers, there'll be a good presence from Jaguar Land Rover.
I think people will talk about what Jaguar are up to at the show. Luckily enough, I've seen what they're going to show, but I can't possibly comment because the embargo is next week. So it's quite big. It's I wouldn't say it's controversial. It's quite stylish. It's very Jaguar, but that'll have to wait for next week.
Big talking point though. I
think so. I mean, it makes absolute sense for what Jaguar are going to. Where this car is targeted is a growing market, and they'd be mad not to enter it.
Okay. On the concept car side, now generally we see most of the big concepts of the year. They can go to, you know, Tokyo, LA, Geneva. We've talked a little bit about the Quattro, but that will be a production car from a concept.
That's what we understand.
Can you think of any other concepts that we're going to look forward to seeing at Frankfurt this year?
I'm really looking forward to the NSX program. That's again another generation performance car. But if Honda are at the top of their game, they're pretty cool at this sort of stuff. And I just want them to have a return to form. New CEO at Honda, he wants to see it as well. So I'm properly excited about that. My slight wobble on it is it's getting developed in the States. And you sort of want it to come out of the nerve centre, you know, in Tokyo. But maybe, you know, anyway, we'll find out more about that at Frankfurt. So it's one to watch.
Big news with Honda returning to Formula One as well. I think that's important. Hopefully it will bring along a strong next generation of performance cars from Honda. The market's weaker without sports cars from Honda, isn't it?
Isn't it? I mean, they were so important in this game. And they've just sort of gone off the radar, and we're desperate. I mean, you know, Civic Type R, it wasn't the most, you know, amazing thing dynamically, but no one complained about the engines and that, you know, red crackle top when you open the bonnet and the, you know, super high revving. That was pure Honda. We just loved it.
Spectacular.
And they can do it on bikes. Come on, let's see it in the cars again.
See it on cars, okay. So let's talk about maybe some surprises. Up to this point, we've been drip-fed a fair amount of information. You get into that kind of, you feel like you kind of know pretty much everything that's coming next week, you know. There's got to be a surprise from someone, surely.
I'm sure there will be. That's the fun of going to a motor show. I've actually been tipped off of some friends who have ordered something that I didn't know they were going to make, and I suspect to see that at Frankfurt. All I can say, it's got a V12, so it's quite exciting.
We like V12s.
So I think there will be a surprise. And a controversial one as well. So I think it's a monster car going to be there.
stay tuned to Evo TV because you will see this car if it appears next week, a V12 performance car by the sounds of it. So if it is at Frankfurt, as we hope it will be, stay tuned and you'll see it there. How long are you at the show?
Well, we fly about 7 o'clock on a Monday morning, so we do a pre-show. I'm going with the Jaguar Land Rover team. They've got some the first generation hybrid Range Rover Sport, and a few other things. They're doing early meetings with some of the directors at Jaguar, and then the show kicks off on the Tuesday. And all you do is search Wi-Fi, and you wear your comfiest shoes you can, and it's you just do the whole day, and it's it is huge fun. It's our adrenaline rush because it's so packed into this one day, getting all this info. So we love it really. We talk about it. Oh no, not Frankfurt, because it's just the biggest. You just got to have a master plan how to get around it.
Thanks, Harry.
No problems.
Thanks for your time. We're going to be doing another Inside Evo, a special Inside Evo from the Frankfurt Motor Show. It's going to be a roundup of everything that we've seen on press day. It's going to be quite an exciting day. We'll publish this on Evo TV next Thursday the 12th, so stay tuned and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.